Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on where you're connecting from, how has been your week? It's been profitable. Please confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Also confirm you can see my screen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Start dropping your questions, and if there's any instrument you want us to look at, let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Drop your questions, and if there's any instrument you want us to look at, drop it in the comment section. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. How's been your week? Hope it's been profitable. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Please drop a comment if you can hear me loud and clear. Drop a comment if you can hear me loud and clear. I want to be sure you all can hear me. Also confirm you can see my screen. I'm currently viewing the dollar index chart. I'm viewing the dollar index chart. Confirm that's what you're seeing at your hand. So today is the 15th of May, and we are expecting several major news will be released from the United States by 1:30 p.m. Core PPI, core retail sales, PPI, retail sales, and unemployment claims will be released by 1:30 p.m. Good morning, Ebuka. Okay, so as you can see here, for core PPI, the previous was 0.1 and the forecast is 0.3. So they are expecting an increase on the core PPI. For core retail sales, the previous was 0.5% and the forecast is 0.3%. So they are expecting a decrease. Okay, on core retail sales, they are expecting a decrease. And for PPI MM, the previous was negative 0.4% and the forecast is 0.2%. Okay, so they are expecting an increase on PPI MM. And for retail sales MM, the previous was 1.4% and the forecast is 0.0%. So they are expecting a decrease from 1.4 to 0.0. Then unemployment claims, the previous was 228K and the forecast is 229. 229. So they are expecting an increase. They are expecting an increase. Okay, the previous was 228 and the forecast is 229. Though the difference isn't much, just 1K difference. Okay, so those are the major news that will be released later today. Okay, so you should watch out for this news. Watch out for this news. Okay, on days like this, what I advise is that you wait for the news to be released, and if you decide to execute a trade before the news is released, let's say you have your technical setup says it's time to execute the trade. If you decide to execute the trade, you can execute, let's say 50% of your risk for the day. Okay, in London session, you can execute 50% of your risk, okay, on the first trade you're going to execute. So let's say your daily risk is $100. Let's say that's the maximum daily risk is $100. You can risk $50 in London session. If that doesn't work out, you wait for the news to be released in New York, okay, session before you execute a second trade with the remaining $50. Are you getting me? So don't risk everything in London session. Risk 50%, or you risk less. You could risk 30%, you could risk 20%, but don't exceed 50%. Risk 50% of your maximum daily drawdown. And in New York session, after the news has been released, if you see your setup, you execute with the remaining 50%. That would be the smart thing to do. Okay, so that is it for the fundamentals. Let's go to the chart. Good morning, Mr. Joseph. If you have any question, any pair you're considering trading and you want us to look at it together, just drop it in the comment section. Okay, drop it in the comment section. So we'll start by looking at the dollar index. What do I see on dollar index? Let's start with the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see dollar index has been bearish, and I think dollar index is coming for the liquidity residing at this previous low. It's likely going to hit this low today. That is what I see playing out on GBP, on dollar index. It's likely going to come for this low, okay? It's likely going to come for that low. As you can see here, what dollar index did here was to fill this fair value gap. You can see it filled this fair value gap. And after filling this fair value gap, what do we have on 4 hour? Let's see. After it filled that fair value gap, there was a strong rejection. If you go down to 4 hour, what do we have on 4 hour? So you can see on 4 hour, this is what we had on 4 hour. You can see this is a shooting star. This is a shooting star, and you can see this is a shooting star. So what can you see on 4 hour time frame? What can you see on 4 hour time frame? You can see the liquidity residing at this previous high, and also we had a fair value gap here. We had a fair value gap here. We have this fair value gap. Price pulled back, cleared the liquidity residing at this previous high. It cleared the liquidity residing at this previous high. And I think if you go down to 1 hour, let's see, I think there's a shift in market structure on a lower time frame. Let's see. So you can see on 1 hour, there was a shift in market structure at this point, the low, you can see shift in market structure. Can you see that? So with what I see on dollar index with this pattern, I think dollar index is bearish at the moment. Dollar index is bearish at the moment. Technically, dollar index is bearish. It means the dollar is weak. It means dollar is weak. Okay, that's my bias for the dollar. The dollar is bearish at the moment. Technically, okay, dollar is bearish at the moment. Let's look at yen basket to know the strength of the yen. Let's see what we have on the yen basket. So let's start with the daily time frame. So daily so far, it's been bullish. It's been bullish. It's been bullish, right? You can see it's been bullish, and we had a resistance here. So I think we could see a strong rejection from this level. This is a supply level, or you call it your resistance zone. Okay, we could see a strong rejection from that zone. Okay, personally, I wouldn't be buying yen. As you can see, this is where the buy started from. It would be wrong for one to buy the yen at the current market price. Look for a retracement before you buy. If you are considering buying yen, you should wait for a retracement before you buy. Okay, so this is what we had on a daily time frame, and I think at this point we had a fair value gap. Let's go down to 4 hour. So on 4 hour, you can see we had a fair value gap here. Can you see the fair value gap? That is the gap in between the low of this candle, okay, and the high of this candle. You can see this is a fair value gap, which is in confluence with this resistance zone I identified. It's in confluence with this resistance zone, and you can see that we had a mitigation here. You can see this is mitigation block. You can see we have a resistance zone, we have mitigation, okay, and we also have fair value gap. Three confluences. That's a high probability for the yen to go bearish. So at what point would I sell yen? At what point would I go bearish on yen? Okay, so I'll wait for 1 hour candle. If 1 hour candle close below the low of this candle, that is when I would sell yen. That is when I will take a sell on yen. I will go bearish on yen. Okay, if 1 hour closes below this low, it tells me that supply is higher than JPY will be buy, Euro JPY would be buy, CAD JPY will be buy, CHF JPY will be buy. CHF JPY is even set. CHF JPY is set for buy. We'll look at CHF JPY. CHF JPY is set for buy, but I'm waiting for a retracement. I want to see a retracement to a discount area before buying CHF JPY. CHF JPY is set for buy. Okay, CHF JPY, please remind me before the end of the class. I'll share my buyers on CHF JPY. Okay, before the end of the class, please remind me. Let me give the signal on CHF JPY. It is buying at the moment, but it needs to retrace. It will retrace. Don't jump in. Don't jump in and buy. It will retrace. Okay, so that's my take on yen. So let's look at currency pairs. If there any pair you want us to look at, let me know in the comment section. GBP USD. GBP USD. GBP USD is buy. We've looked at dollar index and we said the dollar is weak. So if dollar index is weak, then we should expect buy on GBP USD. Okay. Technically, GBP USD should buy. GBP USD should buy. It's only fundamentals that would make GBP USD sell. If the news favor, if all the news favor the dollar, then we could see some sales on GBP USD. But technically, GBP USD is bullish, and GBP USD is coming for this relative equal high. It is coming for this relative equal high. It might not hit there today. Okay, it's coming. This will be the first target. You could set your first TP here. Okay, you could set your first TP at using the high of this candle, and your second TP at this point. Okay, I'm currently holding a trade on GU. I have a trade on GU. I'm buying GU at the moment, and I think it's in small profits, maybe like 10 pips or 7 pips. Okay, so that's my take on. So let's do the analysis. Let's start with the daily. You can see yesterday candle looks like a shooting star. Okay, looks like a shooting star. Now, what is the reason for this retracement? What is the reason for this retracement? Let's go down to 4 hour. So you can see what we had on 4 hour. This retracement. The reason for this retracement is this fair value gap. This retracement. The reason for that retracement is this fair value gap. This fair value gap is the reason for that retracement. Okay. Now on 4 hour time frame, for those who trade my strategy, if you go down to 4 hour, on 4 hour time frame, if you go down to 1 hour time frame, you would find your zigzag indicator below this candle. You would find your zigzag indicator below this candle. Those of you who trade my strategy, you will find a zigzag indicator below this candle. Now, if the zigzag is below this candle, what do? You wait for price to close above. We go to 1 hour. Go to 1 hour. I'm planning to create a video course on this strategy. For those on the VIP, I've already shared it with you guys. Okay, I'm planning to create a video course for this. Okay, if you're having issues on knowing best time to enter your trade, this strategy is gonna just help you in fixing that. I'm planning to create a video on that. It's not gonna be free. It's not gonna be free. So you can see this is 1 hour, right? This is the last bearish candlestick that formed before this retracement, right? So all we need to do is wait for 1 hour candle to close above. You can see 1 hour candle closed above it last night, and I told you guys after the 1 hour candle closes above the high, wait for a retracement. Wait for a retracement. If you go down to 15 minutes, you will find a zigzag indicator. You'll find it below this level. Okay, you find the zigzag indicator below this level, and the market is trading above the high of this. You can see the market is currently trading above the high of this 1 hour candle, right? So that is the reason for the buy. It is buy. You can take this trade. Please apply good risk and money management. Okay, you can take this trade. Okay, you can take this trade. Like I said, take 50%, risk 50%. If the lot size you use is 0.02, you can reduce it to 0.01. Okay, reduce it to 0.01. because we have several major news that will be released later. Okay, so if you are buying from this point, your stop loss should be 30 pips below this level, which will be 1.3260, which will be below this level, 1.3260. 1.3260. Okay, so that's it for GBP USD. I hope that is clear, Mr. Ebuka. Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so that is it for GBP USD. Let's look at Euro USD. If there's any pair you're planning to trade and you want me to analyze it, drop it in the comment section. Same thing for Euro USD. Euro USD is bullish also. Euro USD is bullish. Let's start with the daily time frame. Let me start with the daily time frame. So yesterday candle, shooting star. This is to trap retail traders. Retail traders will be selling now, while institution wants to buy. Yeah, retail traders would have entered sell yesterday, and their stop losses will be residing at this previous high. Right? You were told that anytime you see shooting star, you should sell. Okay, so you had a shooting star here, and you took a sell. Your stop loss is at this level. The institutions are coming for this high. You definitely come clear the liquidity residing at this high. This was the high of yesterday. And if you know the long term, the higher time frame trend, you will know that EU is bullish. So any sell you see when the higher time frame trend is bullish, any trend, any bearish trend or pattern you see on the lower time frame is a trap. Okay, it's just a retracement. It's just a retracement. It's a trap to get to hunt for retail traders on stop losses. Okay, so it's very important that you know the higher time frame trend. You can see price pulled back here, fill this fair value gap. Okay, and there was a strong rejection from that. After filling that fair value gap, there's a strong rejection from that zone. Okay, so let's go down to 4 hour. So what do we have here on 4 hour? So this morning, I think the first thing they did was to clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. Okay, I think that was what they did this morning, to clear the stop losses residing at this low. Okay, and that they have achieved. And I think if you go down to 1 hour time frame, I think there's a fair value gap here. Let me just confirm that. Let's see on 1 hour at this point. Let's see on 1 hour. So on 1 hour, I think we had a fair value gap here. Let me confirm. Let's see. Can you see this? I think we had a tiny fair value gap here. Okay, so that is the reason for the retracement. That is the reason for the retracement. That is the reason for the retracement. Okay, and that's the reason for the retracement. Okay, so fair value gap got filled. Okay, fair value gap got filled, and there was little retracement here. Now, this retracement you see here, we had this high. Okay, so and we had this low. This was an area of liquidity. So the first thing they did this morning was to come clear the liquidity residing at this previous low before pushing price up. Right? So there was a shift in market structure at this point. Then after a shift in market structure, price needs to pull back to fill a fair value gap, or price needs to pull back to a discount area, which it has done. You can see it has pulled back, and there's a strong rejection from that area. So that's the reason for my bullish bias. Okay, that's the reason for my bullish bias. You can see if you apply your Fibonacci from this swing low to this swing high, where is the discount? Discount is at this point. You can see the reason for the retracement. You can see. So this retracement we are seeing right now could be to just come fill this fair value gap. This fair value gap is created here. I just want to come and fill this fair value gap before continuing with its bullish move. Okay, so that's my take on GBP Euro USD. It's bullish. Okay. That's my bias for for Euro USD. Okay. Which other pair do you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Australian dollar USD also. The bias is bullish. The bias is bullish on Australian dollar USD. Australian dollar USD is not set yet. It's not set yet. I think it still wants to clear some liquidity. Okay. It's not set yet. Okay. Australian dollar USD is not set yet. It's most likely want to clear this low. Okay. Just wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form. Wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form. Okay, it might want to test this zone, this demand zone. Okay, it might want to test this demand zone. It might want to test that zone. Okay, just wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form before you take a trade on Australian dollar USD. Okay, wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form. So we have a spinning bottom here. Liquidity residing at this low has been cleared. Okay, so in this case, you want to wait for 1 hour candle to close above, let's see, 15 minutes. So you can see on 1 hour also, you can see we had a fair value gap here. And that gap has been filled. Can you see that? This gap has been filled. And after that gap got filled, you see the pattern we have here. It's a bullish reversal pattern. So if I'm to take a trade on Euro, on Australian dollar USD, let me go down to 15 minutes. So on 15 minutes, I would like to see 1 hour candle close above this resistance. That would be a good entry. If 1 hour candle close above this resistance, you can see this is a ranging market. This is a ranging market. From this point to this point, price ranged. And what happened? They've cleared the liquidity. They know a lot of retail traders who have executed buy, and their stop losses will be residing at this low. So what they've done is to clear the stop losses residing at this low. So if 1 hour candle closes above this high, the next target for Australian dollar USD will be this. If the fundamentals does not interfere with this setup, Australian dollar USD should buy, and this will be the next target. This should be the next target. So if 1 hour candle closes above this resistance, if you want to buy, you could set your stop loss. Let's say set your stop loss 15 pips. Set your stop loss 15 pips below the low of this candle. 15 pips below the low of this candle. Okay, so if you're considering buying Australian dollar USD, patiently wait for 1 hour candle to close above this resistance. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Is there any other pair you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Okay, so I said I'm going to look at CHF JPY. Okay, let me do that here. CHF JPY. Let me do that on this chart. CHF JPY. Okay, so you can see CHF JPY has been, it's been bullish. Let's start with the 4 hour. Let's start with the 4 hour time frame. You can see the last candle was bullish. It was bullish, right? So let's see what we have on 1 hour. On 1 hour, you can see this. On 1 hour, we had a, should we call this an AMA? Okay, we have what looks like an AMA, though not a valid AMA. Okay, so this is an AMA, and if you go down to 15 minutes time frame, let's see what we have on 15 minutes time frame. Okay, I think shifting market structure occurred at this point on CHF JPY. We had this, you can see liquidity swept at this point, and there was a shift in market structure at this point. So like I said, I want to see price retrace to this area. I want to see price retrace to this area before going bullish on CHF JPY. Wait for the retracement. Okay, there's a high probability it's going to retrace to this level. So once it gets to this level, wait for it to get to this level before you buy. If a bullish reversal pattern forms after price hits this level, you should buy. Okay, you should buy CHF JPY, and your stop loss, if you are buying from this point, You could just set it. I do not advise that you use pending orders. Okay, you need to ensure that a bullish reversal pattern forms here before you buy. So if you are buying from this point, you can set your stop loss 10 pips below this level. 10 pips below this level. So your stop loss will be, let's say, 30 pips. Okay, 30 pips from this level. Then you could go for 60, 70 pips on CHF JPY. You could go on 70 pips. The target could be 70 pips on CHF JPY. Please give the video a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done that, give the video a thumbs up. If you have any question, Mr. Naya, good morning. If you have any question, any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. Give the video a thumbs up. And if this is your first time participating in the live stream, first I want to thank you for joining the class. And I believe you're getting value from the session. Please ensure you subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Okay? Please subscribe to the channel. CHF JPY. I've dropped the analysis for CHF JPY. I see a very good setup, nice setup on CHF JPY, but wait for price. VIP students, you know what you should look out for. Wait for price. 15 minutes, a zigzag should appear below 15 minutes candle at this point before you buy. You know that. A zigzag should appear below a candlestick at this point before you buy. Okay. It's a nice setup, and there are no major news for CHF and JPY. No major news for CHF and JPY. So you could avoid trading the dollar pairs. You could avoid trading dollar pairs and just trade on cross-currency pairs, JPY pairs. There are no major news for GBP, no major news for Euro, no major news for Japanese yen. So the probability of the technical setup playing out is high. Okay, it's very, very high. I hope that is clear. Don't miss this trade, please. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Just wait for price to pull back here. It will pull back. It would. If it doesn't pull back, don't take the trade. If it doesn't pull back to this zone, don't take the trade. Don't take the trade. Any question? Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. A few minutes, guys. Gold is bullish. Gold is bullish. Price was mitigated. You can see mitigation. You can see here's this trend, right? You can see this is mitigation. Price was mitigated here, right? Price was mitigated here, and we had mitigation, then shifting market structure. Shifting market structure. Shifting market structure. Okay. So you could wait for a retracement. Okay. After the shifting market structure, you could wait for a retracement to this fair value gap. Okay. You could look for buys from this zone. Okay. You could look for buys from this zone. Okay. If you had entered from this point, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. But now the market is trading far above this this level. Market is trading far above. Okay, so you want to wait for a retracement. If you buy from the current market price, the risk you will be taking will be very high. It will be very high. Okay, so patiently wait for price to pull back. That's what I would advise. Wait for price to pull back before you join the bullish trend. Gold is bullish. Gold is bullish. And see what played out on gold. This is daily time frame. So it's daily time frame. I think price pulled back. We had a fair value gap here, so the gap has not been filled entirely. Okay. See, we had a fair value gap here. You can see it has done like 50% of this fair value gap, which is consequent encroachment. And we also at this point we had a breaker. We had a breaker. You can see we had a breaker at this point. This move was used to clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. You can see. And after liquidity at this previous low got cleared, the liquidity at this previous low got cleared, what happened? Shift in market structure occurred at this point. And after the shift in market structure, price had to retrace to come and fill the fair value gap it created here. You can see that. So gold is bullish. It is bullish. Gold is bullish. Gold is bullish. Gold is bullish. Good morning, Mr. Eniola. Thanks for joining. Is there any other pair you want us to look at? Is there any other pair? USD card should be bearish. Look for sales on USD card. USD card should be bearish, but it is not set yet. The sell on USD card is not set yet. Okay, USD card. So we can see we had a fair value gap here. Could it be that USD card wants to fill this fair value gap? It has done. I think it has done 50% of this fair value gap. I think 50% of this fair value gap should be around this area. I think, yeah, 50% of it. So on a daily, we had what looks like a shooting star here. Okay, we had what looks like a shooting star. Let's go down to 4 hour. After the formation of this pattern, what do we have on 4 hour? So you can see the pattern we had on 4 hour. We had a shooting star here indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. And before the formation of this shooting star, you can see the liquidity residing at this previous high. You can see the liquidity residing at this previous high was cleared, and a shift in market structure occurred at this point, right? You can see the body of this candle closed below. Shift in market structure occurred. After shifting market structure, price is expected to pull back, which it has done. It's expected to pull back to fill. It created a fair value gap here, and that is as it has achieved. Okay, that's it has achieved. Fair value gap got filled. I think it was yesterday. It got filled and it created an high. They know a lot of retail traders would have executed sell after the formation of this pattern, after the formation of this candle. They know a lot of retail traders. If you go down to lower time frame, let's see 1 hour, 15 minutes. I'm sure a bearish reversal pattern form here, which would have made retail traders jump into sell. You can see we had a spinning top here, then an engulfing pattern. So a lot of retail traders would have executed sell. And where would they have their stop losses? Their stop losses will be residing at this high and also at this high. So what they've done this morning is to clear the liquidity. That's the first thing you look out for before you execute any trade. Ensure the liquidity is cleared. They've cleared the liquidity. And after clearing the liquidity, what pattern do we have here on 1 hour? Spinning top on 1 hour. So you go to 15 minutes, ensure there's a shift in market structure on 15 minutes time frame. So on 15 minutes time frame, what do we have here? You have a mitigation. This is mitigation on 15 minutes time frame. You can see this is mitigation. Okay, this is mitigation, and shift in market structure. If the candle closes below this low, not this low, That would be a shifting market structure. If you go to 5 minutes, let's say 5 minutes. So on 5 minutes, you can see shifting market structure has occurred here on 5 minutes. You can see the shifting market structure, liquidity sweep on 5 minutes, liquidity sweep on 5 minutes, shifting market structure, price needs to retrace back to fill the fair value gap is created here. You can see that's the reason for the retracement. It created a fair value gap here. It pulled back to fill that fair value gap. And USD card is set for sell. This is a sell setup. Very clean setup is sell. It's a sell. It's a sell. Very clear, very clear. But remember, nothing is 100% certain in trading in the market. So that's why you should use stop loss. Okay, that is why you should use stop loss. Nothing is 100% certain. Okay. So if you are taking a trade from this point, this is 13980. Set your stop loss far above this level. You could set it 20 pips above this level. That's because of the major news that will be released later. Because of the major news that will be released later, you can set your stop loss 20 pips above. 20 pips above. So your stop loss should be like 30 pips. 30 pips. And USD card will be going for the next draw on liquidity. It will be going for the next draw on liquidity. Here's the next draw on liquidity. Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay. Can you see that? Okay, so that is it for USD card. That's USD card. It's a sell. It's a sell. It's a sell. Is there any other pair you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know. Let me know. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? If you have any question, let me know. Let me know. Please apply good risk and money management. Don't gamble with your money. Do not gamble with your money. Every setup has a 50% probability of going in your direction and a 50% probability of going against you. Always have that in the back of your mind. Nothing is 100%. Okay, no matter how good the setup is, the trade can still go against you. The trade can still go against you. And if you know that trading is a game of probability, you don't want to execute the trade without knowing the risk, without defining the risk, without setting stop loss. If you are not using stop loss on your trades, you are a gambler. You are a gambler. It's an indication that you don't know what you're doing in the market. Or probably you're new to trading, you are not experienced. You are not experienced. If you are experienced, you should be using stop losses on all your trades. Any question? Any question? Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? There are no questions. I would have to end the session. I appreciate every one of you for your participation. I believe you got value. I believe you got value. So I wish you all a profitable trading day. Okay. I need to go, monitor my trades. I have a trade on GU. I need to go. And I'm also looking out for CHF JPY setup. Okay, so that'll be it for today. Thank you very much. Hopefully today is Thursday. Okay, tomorrow by 10 a.m. we'll meet, or most likely tonight by 9:30 p.m. Okay, I'll give you guys update on the group.